friends, and welcome to the 7th episode of the Video Games Ahoy Hall of Fame. Woo.
Hiya.
Hello.
My name is Jonathan Radford. Today I'm joined by Dav Gape,
Hiya.
Dav Weeks,
Alright.
and Zach Hamilton?
Hello.
Question mark? Is that right? No, it is right. How you doing, gents?
Very well.
Good.
Very well.
Yeah, it's
It's been a little while since we've done these.
Yeah, so I actually looked online earlier, and I want you guys to guess when the last time we done this. When was the last time we did this?
March 23rd.
Dav Weeks? Have a good guess?
Yeah.
You're gonna with
February, why not?
Zach?
March 24.
Okay, I actually don't know when in March it was, but it was March. It could very well be the 23rd, but it was around then, which is pretty bonkers. Because, like Dav Gabe said, these episodes are great. I love doing these. These are genuinely, like, we've had some seriously controversial moments doing there's lots of controversial moments. I've actually put up the 3rd episode today, so if you want to go back and watch the first 3 episodes, please do that. They're lots of fun, and we're going to try and make this more of a thing more often, once a month. I guess we're going to try and catch up on a few more, but we'll try and do at least one more before we get back into the swing of things. We don't tend to do these live, obviously. This is the first time we're doing it live. So yeah, make sure you check out our old episodes. They're lots of fun. All right, gents, before we begin, I think we need to explain the rules. So shall I just mention the rules really quickly, and then we can start?
Get them in.
Let's just get them in. So there will be 2 categories. There'll be game and personality, and personality is either a creative or a created character. There'll be a ranked voting system in place, and each participant will either nominate... Sorry, each participant, I can't even read, will rank the other nominations to find 2 clear winners, but the votes cannot be used for your nominee. The points will be given as follows. First place receives 5 points, second place receives 3 points, and third place receives 1 measly little point. Votes will be tallied at the end of the podcast to determine which 2 games and 2 personalities will go into the VGA Hall of Fame. Nominees can't be brought back for at least 3 months. I mean, it's been 3 months since the last time, so you could probably do the same 3 we did, lot we did last time. Unless someone else decides to bring it back. Someone else decides to bring something back. That's totally fine. You know, that hasn't happened yet. We've had a lot of people bringing this. It's actually just me and Dav. Actually, me and Dav Gabe. We've brought a few of the same ones back. Now, I don't want to mention any of the ones before, after episode 3, but we'll mention some of them that have been in, because obviously we want you to go and watch the Patreon ones. But if 2 nominees are in second and third are on equal points, then the 2 people that brought those suggestions will discuss to see if one will yield. And yielding is always fun. We seem to have at least 1 yield an episode, which is always fun. So it's always fun to see you fight your corner.
Give them one, Johnny. Give them 1 game.
Oh, I'm happy to give the first 3. Do you know what? I'll give you a sample from each of the first 3 episodes.
Ooh, nice.
Shigeru Miyamoto,
Obviously.
Satoru Iwata, Papers, Please. These are the games and the personalities that deserve to get in. Papers, Please was in the first episode.
Wow.
Yeah, that was I love that call. I love that was our first episode as well. It's like,
I'm so pleased that went in, given that everything else that goes in.
Yeah. And some of the stuff
Dav Week's energy. Dav Week's energy is the chaos
that
reigns upon what would probably be quite a boring list otherwise. Dav Week's is like, Conquer, Papers, Please.
I think nothing is summed up more than his shirt that he's wearing today. That is Dav Week's all over. And we need more of that energy. We need more of that energy.
It's the chaotic shirt. The chaotic natures of Hall of Fame.
All right. Well, Jen, should we just get into it? That is pretty much it. That's it. I've explained the rules. We just need to get into it. So, Dav Weeks, considering you are wearing a delicious shirt, did you want to start? Should we start with person?
Person.
Yeah, let's start with person.
Right. Start with person.
Yes.
So, this is possibly the nerdiest of the nerdy people I will ever be bringing into this.
Amazing.
And this is already a pretty nerdy playing field. So, just harking to my love of board game mechanics in a way that really inspire games, I'm going with Sid Meier.
Oh.
And and his team at Firaxis Games.
That is a shout.
So, our boy Sid started off doing flight simulators, some of the nerdiest games of all time.
Yeah.
And then split off, and then did a pirate simulator called Sid Meier's Pirates.
Yeah.
Apparently, the inspiration to have his name plastered over all subsequent games was it was an idea brought forward by Robin Williams, who was doing a corporate event for them. And he's like, yeah, just, put it down, become a brand. I was like, yeah, and it kind of worked.
Wow.
So, yeah, he's created certainly one of the games that I've put more hours into than anything else, and that is Civilization.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a...
So Civ 5 being my particular Civ of choice, of which hundreds and hundreds by now, and the longest stint I've ever sat in front of a computer has been playing Civ.
Yep.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something. That's something to be applauded. And then not only Civ, but there's also the kind of the weird kind of spin-offs of Civ, like Alpha Centauri and Beyond Earth. Alpha Centauri, the sci-fi version of Civ, was lovely. Absolutely adored it. Kind of turned it into Dune. It just got nerdier, man. It just got so much nerdier.
I love how the nerdier it gets, the more and more Davwix is like, give me more. I want more.
Give me more nerd shit, man. And then just as part of Firaxis, XCOM has just really smashed tactical squad-based action shit out of the park, man. I love XCOM and Enemy Unknown. I love XCOM 2. I think they're brilliant. Too glitchy for my liking. It might just be a problem on my PlayStation. But as far as gameplay goes, I think it's so spot on. And both Civilization and XCOM have been turned into board games, and I've yet to play them, but oh my god, are they high on my list, because the mechanics just lend themselves so well to board games as well. And I don't know, just there's something about these really kind of in-depth mechanics that just gels very well with my personality. What can I say?
I don't think you can say much more, to be honest. I think you've pretty much covered it, Davwix. Just a quick aside. How have you never played Fire Emblem? That seems like have you?
Yeah.
Oh.
3 Houses was amazing.
Oh, I didn't know that. That was well. There we go. I mean, that explains a lot. Awesome. So Sid me out. I like that. Davgape, should we go to you next?
Absolutely, yeah. Good choice, Dav. I hate you. So I'm bringing someone that actually has been brought before, but not by me.
Okay.
This person is the creator of the most successful franchise ever created in video games. Also a man who has autism, so I think that should be applauded. And this guy really wanted to give children the kind of joy that he got when he was collecting bugs. Of course, the creator of Pokemon, Satoshi Tajiri.
I'd already written it down, but that's what you were saying, because I was like, I know exactly where you're going with this.
So this is a guy who, I don't need to say much, do I? I mean, he created Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
At least 2 of us absolutely adore Pokemon for many, many reasons.
Me and Davwix.
Yeah, John and Davwix. Me and Zach haven't really played anything except for Pokemon Yellow.
Yeah. Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah.
How dare you say that when you know I have a level 17 middle queen?
But yeah, I mean, here's a guy who still persists and has been going for 25 years now, making video games at kind of a high level. And he also, he's at the fundamental creation of Game Freak, who aren't just known for Pokemon, but made a really cool horse racing card game on the DS called something like Pocket Horse Jockey or something like that. Absolutely mad game, but look at the reviews for it, and it's insane. They also made Tembo the Badass Elephant. And I just think, like, especially with like Pokemon Legends Arceus coming up and the Diamond and Pearl remakes, and just like the trailer for Arceus was bad, right? Like it was like, oh, it's cool that they're doing this with Pokemon, but the trailer was bad. But the fact that many people in the world, including myself, were so hyped because it was something different, but with Pokemon in it, like how can one man's creation have spurred on like a franchise that billions of people love? Like Pikachu is about as recognizable as Jesus at this point, and that's not that much of an exaggeration if you think about it.
No.
And
I'm also noticing you've got your nice Psyduck in the background and your Gengar can.
Yeah, Big Al made the Psyduck. I've got a Lycanroc drawing made by Video Game Shay. I've got a large version of Rapid Striker True V. I've got a little
represent him
Eternatus on that tin, and the Gengar can. Got to represent. Got some Pokemon games down here as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, got to show my love to Satoshi Tajiri. How could you not?
Awesome. Anything else, Dav? Anything else you want to add?
Vote Tajiri. You know it's right.
Zach, what were you going with, man?
Well, his pitch. As AAA games, sorry about flying here. As AAA games are transitioning to a more cinematic approach to storytelling, you have to have a more cinematic approach to your music composition, which is why I think that Gustavo Santaolalla should be added to the list. I wasn't going to bring any Last of Us people for a while. I promised myself I wouldn't, and then I bought myself a banjo this week, and all I could do was play not only Last of Us music, actually, because Gustavo Santaolalla is involved with a lot of cinema, which is why I think he's exactly the right choice to be making games. He actually doesn't make all that many, but I mean, I would hope that all of you can remember some of those iconic tunes from The Last of Us. But some notable mentions for film. He was involved with, he wrote the music for Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, wow.
Some of his music is involved with, it is in Into the Wild. He's going to be writing the music for the Last of Us series. Obviously Last of Us 1, Last of Us 2. Which other ones did I take note of? Anyway, so he's been a composer for between 20 and 30 years, depending on how you look at it. And while there are a lot of amazing video game composers, I don't think there's anyone who's doing it in the same way that he is. I think a lot of the pulled back reliance on sort of solitary sounds, like light voices, mostly folk instruments, I think make a big difference. And as I say, I think with the transition from the way that games used to have to tell their stories to the way that they can basically be films with gameplay nowadays, I think those games with those types of games at least should embrace that. Should take on the fact that it's a different thing. And yeah, I just love all of his music. Also, for anyone who doesn't know, he has a cameo in The Last of Us 2. They made a little he's a banjo player in Jackson. He's just sitting there playing, and you can go up to him and listen to him play for a while.
That's
very
awesome.
Cute.
That is awesome. I'm a big fan of that. Anything else, Zach? Anything else we want to say?
No, it's pretty good.
So my pick is someone actually mentioned the other day on the podcast, and it's purely because she's in a game that I've been playing, and that's Ashley Birch, the voice actress. I just think she's awesome. I was looking at her credits on Wikipedia earlier, and she's done a lot of really, really cool stuff that's just touching loads of different genres as well, which I think really showcases how brilliant she is as a performer. So like she's obviously Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn, where she's brilliant in that, and actually that's how I not discovered her, but that's like the first time I ever realized that was her. And then all like the other stuff, she's a Parvati in The Outer Worlds, and she's so funny and silly in that, and it's like a completely different side to her, which is brilliant. I'll just list a couple of things she's in. So she's Tiny Tina in Borderlands, Mel in Last of Us 2, She's Mel in The Last of Us 2, which I actually didn't know. Chloe Price, I believe, in Life is Strange. I never played Life is Strange, but I know she's quite good in that.
Chloe Price, good character.
She's
good
in Attack on Titan, Zach, Sasha Browse.
Oh, now I have to. Oh no, that's my favorite thing. You tricked me.
Well, Pavati Holcomb in The Outer Worlds. She's Hawkeye in Marvel's Avengers that Square Enix just did. She's Tina DeLuca in Fallout 4. So she's done loads of cool stuff. And she's branched out from that as well, which I was really impressed with. Dav Weeks is probably going to like this. She was a writer on Adventure Time.
Amazing.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Like, when I saw that, I was like, what? That's awesome. And that's how she got a lot of her early work as well, which is really cool. She got nominated for Golden Joystick Awards for Life is Strange and Horizon Zero Dawn. I think she won for both of those as well. And she plays Rachel in Mythic Quest. And if you haven't seen Mythic Quest, it's about a load of people working in a video games company. And it's really, really good. And I really enjoyed it. I just a big fan. Just a really big fan. And I just thought, you know what? I'm gonna. That's my nomination. Ashley Birch. But yeah, that is my nomination. Now we have to give out points. I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go first just because. Yeah. Have you guys tallied yours up?
Yeah.
Okay, so this pains me quite a lot, but I have to. So. Gustavo Santuella, Zach, I'm so sorry. I'm going to give him one. Which really saddens me because I actually love the music in The Last of Us. But yeah, I give Sid Meier 3 because I'm also a big fan of Civilization. But like Dav says, it's hard to. I know Satoshi Tajiri didn't get in last time, but I think there was someone else that I did prefer their work last time. I just can't remember who it was. But this time it's just like, well. It's hard to argue against Satoshi Tajiri just based on his output. It's absolutely incredible what he's given to gaming, and I think even though I'm not a massive fan of Pokemon, I think legacy is a big thing, really, isn't it? Like, what kind of legacy have you left? And ultimately, he's left one of the most incredible ones in the video game industry. So yeah, 5 points to Satoshi Tajiri, 3 to Sid Meier, and 1 to Gustavo Santaolalla. That's me. Should we go Zach? Should we go back the way we came?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the same for me, man. It's one of those times where it's like I would love to. I think your pitch for Ashley Birch was a really good shout.
Yep.
Really difficult to not give the top spot to Satoshi Tajiri.
Yep.
I mean, apart from the fact that on top of the games that we all love, he's also kind of responsible for the anime that I grew up with. You guys, which then puts Ashley Birch in the second spot. And it puts Sid at the bottom because it's not, and sadly, just not someone I've ever really come into contact with. I've never been a Sid guy.
Cool.
Sorry for that.
Dav Gape, what are you going with?
So my 1 goes to Gustavo Santaolalla. I haven't played The Last of Us 2. I do appreciate that, like, even though I can't like hum a Last of Us song right now, I can feel the vibes of a piece of music from Last of Us in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I can totally understand that this guy is a serious magician with music. It is also just a strong group. So, and
yeah,
I was so torn because I had to go with 3 for Ashley Birch, but I was close to going 5 because when I saw that Ashley Birch was written on your board, Johnny, and I was like, oh, he hasn't rubbed it off from whenever we let Ashley Birch into the Hall of Fame. And I was like, and then he did it, and I was like, oh, she's not in the Hall of Fame.
Laura Bailey. Laura Bailey was the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was them last time.
But Ashley Birch is an incredible performer.
She's great.
And going from strength to strength as well as a performer.
She's just a wicked person as well. That's the thing. She's a wicked
they seem
person.
so fun, and you can tell from the characters they do, like Tiny Tina, and in Life is Strange, she is so good in those games, like such a touching performance. But like they're technically, Civilization 5 is the game that I've put more hours in than anything else. Football Manager would be more hours, but that's like every year is a different one. Sid Meier's Civilization 5, like absolute madness. And like Sid Meier's the stuff of legends, your Pirates, your Civ games, and they're not all great, but I mean these days, it's like what you were saying about Legacy. Like these days, the Civ games aren't necessarily made by Sid Meier. But his legacy and what he stood for in his programming still holds true. And also the guy made the first video game version of Magic the Gathering.
Did it really?
Oh, yeah. I just found that out today.
That's mad.
Pretty mad, because that's like one of the biggest games outside of video games of all time.
Yeah.
So, got to give my 5 points to my boy,
Cool.
Sid Meier.
Awesome. Dav Weeks, who are you going with?
So, Ashley Birch is going at the bottom, I'm afraid.
That's okay.
And in at the number 2 spot is Satoshi Tajiri.
Ooh.
And I'm just because I'm going for a more personal edge. It's a very, very, very rare time when I listen to a piece of media and go, "Oh, I really like the music in this," and then go out and get the album. That doesn't happen often to me. It's basically Joe Hisaishi in all the Studio Ghibli films, and then Gustavo for Last of Us. Going in the top, yeah.
And it's done. We've decided.
My gosh. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not yielding to you.
Well,
Back off.
it's crazy because it's weird because normally there's someone like lagging. Sometimes there's someone lagging down the bottom, but there's really not. Everyone, it's really close, and there was only 2 points between the bottom 2 and the third place. I mean, Satoshi Tajiri got in with 13 points, pretty much nailed. Sid Meier came in second with 9 points, and then Ashley Birch and Gustavo Santaella came with 7. I think Zach's also going to be happy with Satoshi Tajiri as well. So I think to be fair, Satoshi Tajiri.
There was no way Satoshi Tajiri was not getting in. I mean,
not the second time. There was the one time, and maybe one time, but Sid Meier and Satoshi Tajiri again. It's hard to argue against that when you just think of everything they've put out, which is ridiculous.
Legacy.
You
said it, Johnny. That's the word.
All right. Well, speaking of legacy, do you mind if I go first for the next one?
Please.
Because
you have a legacy?
Well, let me read out a few things.
What did I see?
Jonathan Redford.
Jonathan Redford. Even after 2 decades, the importance of blank can't be overstated. Nadia Oxford, staff writer, USA Gamer. Blank has an inescapable influence on modern gaming. It's hard to understate the effect that blank has had in the industry. This is also Neil Druckmann's favorite game of all time, and Ken Levine has previously spoken about how Ocarina of Time has changed the gaming landscape.
Ocarina of Time.
So it's interesting because I know we've never actually brought Ocarina of Time in, and it's actually not. I've never brought a Zelda game. I've not once brought a Zelda game to Hall of Fame, which is pretty mad considering it's probably the game series that I love the most.
Are there any Zelda games in the Hall of Fame?
I brought Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild,
yeah.
sure.
So, and it's interesting because I could have just gone, Breath of the Wild's already there, but I don't know if there would have been a Breath of the Wild if there wasn't originally an Ocarina of Time. It has many, I played it recently, obviously, and it still has many flaws, and in the sense that it's a game that was from 1998, but it's hard to just deny the impact that game has had. I tried to not bring that for the longest time because it felt so obvious, but then after a while I was like, I think I need to now because there's loads of games that are equally as good, but also I'm just I think it's about time. It's been a while. There's just I don't know what to say about Ocarina of Time, really. It's just, there's so many things that lay the foundations of, especially with 3D action adventure games. It always feels like, and I said this about when I brought Super Mario Bros. The first time. I don't think it's the best Mario game, but it just laid the foundations of so many other games that other games have latched onto and just improved. And it's I don't know, it's still the highest rated game of all time on Metacritic with 40 different reviews, which is ridiculous. It tops the list continually of the best game of all time. I don't think it is the best game of all time anymore, obviously, but again, just the impact that it's left in video game is the amount of developers that I was looking at earlier, and obviously the biggest two I could come across, or the easiest two I could come across was Neil Druckmann and Ken Levine, two huge developers now who would have been 15, 20 years old when Ocarina of Time came out. It just seems really interesting. There's a lot of developers now who were probably shaped by playing Ocarina of Time back in 1998. I mean, there's not really much more I can say about that. I know it has its flaws playing it back now, but it's just that's my shout. I think to go in a Hall of Fame. I was thinking like when like they put like old rock stars in like the Hall of Fame or movies in the Hall of Fame from like years and years ago. Like sometimes they've not aged the best, but it's hard to deny that the quality is still there. And I think that's my shout for Ocarina of Time. But yeah, that's it. Zach, should we go the other way now? Should we go back to you? What are you going with?
Yeah, I want to go with, and I was sure that we talked about this, but maybe not. I want to. My internet is okay. It doesn't matter. I want to put in Minecraft, and the reason for that is very well on its own. I think mechanics are very good, music good. I appreciate that with Minecraft, and person who marvelous guy, but independently as its own thing, what it represents to me personally is the transition from a time when not anybody could make games to a time when anybody could make games. It's one of the earliest examples of an independent game, a game developed by an independent company becoming a AAA game. It is now technically, run by a major studio. And I thought from the fact that it came at a time when developing your own game was more possible, I think it represents for a lot of developers what is possible out of not all that much. There are lots of games in the past that have been made by small companies. Great example, Out of This World was made by one guy. And that was like in 90 something, like 91 or something like that. I couldn't tell you exactly. But it was a time when distribution was impossible. So this was like the turning point when it started. This was 2009. So just on the cusp of when you could just let people play your game. It's not to overlook the Flash era, the Newgrounds stuff, because that's also really important to look at as well. Say again?
Is it called Cave Game originally?
There's Cave Game, but there's a bunch of those Newground game, like Alien Hominid and like God, I don't remember any of them now. But I mean, so those are really important to consider as well, which sort of weakens my point. But I do think that Minecraft, as the global phenomenon that it is, in spite of the controversy surrounding it, I think deserves a place.
That is a shout. It's just a shout. Good. Yeah. Dev Game. Go on.
How do you feel about like separating the art from the artist? Because like we said, the guy who
really
created Minecraft, not a great human being, but he no longer owns Minecraft. And I think Minecraft is such a game as a service kind of game anyway. The Minecraft we have now isn't necessarily the Minecraft that he made. How do you feel about making that divide?
I think it's such a big question, and I've been talking about it for a long time, mainly to do with music. Actually, I think about it with music a lot because there's a lot of musicians. I actually have a friend who won't name the name of the musician, but we really got into this musician, and then we found out he was a bit of a bigot. And so my friend decided that he would just rip all the music off of YouTube as like a way of enjoying the music without funding this person. I always thought that was funny. That's not like a solution, and I don't know if there is a way around it. I try very hard to separate art from artist because I think it's, you're never going to be able to agree with everyone. Like there's going to be lots of people with stuff that you're not going to be super happy about. And also it can spoil big parts of your life. Not like you've been listening to them for years and then it becomes really difficult to say like, well, and it's also a big question about relationships. It says a lot about how much we should invest in the people who make the stuff we like. Should we actually say like, oh, they're amazing? It's kind of, I guess, a show, but I think it's a big question that probably. What do you guys think?
I didn't know there was I didn't know there was an issue with the creative Minecraft. I'll read about that later. Obviously, don't want to discuss it now, but I didn't realize there was.
But in terms of, if in the instance of separating the art from the artist, do you think it's something that's possible, or
I think for me there's a line. This is a completely different topic. I'm happy to talk about it though. For me there's like
Sorry, everyone.
no, that always feels like a line to me. Like, and it depends what that like. It depends what it is. If they're just like a bit of a dick, then fine. But like if they've actually done harmful stuff, then I guess that's the thing you get. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. For sure, like, and the guy who created Minecraft, his name was Notch, I think.
Notch.
Can't remember, don't know what his real name is, but really not a nice guy. But I think the issue of attaching created. Pardon?
A lot of harmful stuff. He is definitely harmful more than just a bit of a dick.
Yeah. For sure. Mostly because he has such a platform on which he can say whatever he wants. But
yeah.
I think as far as separating the artist from the art, it's all about visibility. Like, I couldn't rewatch House of Cards because Kevin Spacey's in it, because you see his face and he's
yeah.
And part of it is his performance is so good, but he's a despicable human being, allegedly. Whereas like something like Minecraft, especially because it's games as a service and it is evolving and it is so rapidly far from, well, the core mechanics are obviously still the same, but it's developed so much further than what it was. Plus, they're not involved with it anymore. Plus, like, you don't like walk down in Minecraft and go, oh, there's Notch. Look, there's another reference to Notch.
Yeah, it's very easy to separate from that person.
Yeah, and I think like music is that middle ground of like, I actually do struggle a bit to listen to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I know lots of people do.
But yeah, I would have no issues with voting in something like Minecraft, but I guess I would have issues voting in House of Cards. Not at least just because it's not a game.
It'll be a weird choice.
Next time.
I'm bringing that weird Kevin Spacey YouTube video.
Yeah. Oh God. All right, Dav. What are you actually bringing? Is it House of Cards?
But it's not House of Cards.
Okay.
But it is something that is to do with sort of fighting and sort of injustices and bison of the M variety and some other fighters as well in there. It's a game that's also been brought before, but not by myself. But it's, speaking of legacy, I think it's a very important word for this game. This game itself although it's the second title in this franchise, had about 5 or 6 different versions of this game released afterwards, all of which are very playable even now. And like, you compare them to Street Fighter V, and Street Fighter 2 still is so much better than that. It's never managed to get better than Street Fighter 2. I don't feel like we should pick a specific Street Fighter 2, but we could go with Street Fighter 2 Turbo probably.
I feel like the whole it feels like a whole thing. Yeah, let's count them all. Street Fighter 2. Let's go with that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, of all, like, think about Smash Bros. Right? Smash Bros. Ultimate. Of all the franchises that I have in there, the only franchise that isn't Nintendo, I think, and has more than one character is Street Fighter.
Oh, Microsoft, Banjo and Steve.
But they're different IPs.
Oh, okay, right, okay, all right, sorry. Yeah, okay.
Oh, Final Fantasy, because you've got Cloud and Sephiroth now.
Oh, yeah, Sephiroth. Yeah. all right, cool. Final Fantasy VII's already in there, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But Street Fighter 2 then definitely should be in there, because Final Fantasy VII is.
It's not. It didn't get in.
Oh my gosh, did it not?
No.
Well, let's hope that week's brought it. But like Street Fighter 2, like
I was just singing that in my head.
It's so good.
It's iconic.
The music. Yeah, like I can't think of another fighting game that has music so iconic as Street Fighter 2. And that I can hear the announcer in my head going, round 1, fight!
Yeah.
Like it's as iconic as Finish Him. And as far as like memorability, like I can hear that voice in my head. Like, I can't hear what Joel sounds like in The Last of Us, but I can hear what that announcer sounds like. And I just think, like, I mean, it's just so fun, so playable, and just harks back to that bygone era of just a mate coming around and you just hashing out a fighting game round after round after round, thinking up different rules. You're like, right, well, if you win, you have to stay the same character, and I have to choose a different one. And then you go, all right, okay, well, what we'll do now is we'll have to play as different characters each time, and once you use the character, you can't use them again. And just like thinking of new ways to try and replay this game over and over. And like Pokemon, you've got your Nuzlocke, you've got your ROM hacks. It's such a quality experience that you just look for more excuses to play it. And yeah, Street Fighter 2.
I think I remember saying at the time that Street Fighter 2 was the first type of game, one of the first type of games as well to like really hone in on like two player multiplayer on the same console and stuff as well. Like it was one of those
and
original
against
ones.
each other,
Yeah.
one-on-one.
Yeah, it was like it genuinely is. It was a game changer, like in a lot of ways. I mean,
It invented the genre pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, it cemented it as like you need to copy what Street Fighter 2 does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything else was just treading out to see what's possible, and then Street Fighter 2 goes, okay, we've invented beat 'em ups now.
Yeah. We've mastered it. I think that's the thing as well. Like they like Dav says, it's hard to. I've played a lot of Street Fighter games, not all of them, but I've played a lot of them, and yeah, I don't think any of them have ever really. They might be better, they might look better, they might feel better in many ways, but like they just don't have that thing that glues it together. I'm totally with you there.
Just being Blanca and just like shocking and just sitting there mashing square or whatever, and like E Honda with the 100 punches and Chun Li with 100 kicks.
There was just so much variety. There's so much variety,
and you could be any skill level and still have a fun time. You could get your bottom handed to you and still have a fun time.
Yeah.
There's so many like fun characters in there, except for Guile. I don't care about Guile. But Sonic Boom.
Oh god.
It's still iconic. On that level, it's iconic.
I mean, Hadouken with like that whole thing. Like I mean, that's one of the most. That, like you said earlier about like that round one fight, that being such a big thing. That's just as I'd say that's just as big. Like it just. So many. When I was growing up in school, like you'd have kids just doing that randomly all the time. Sorry, when I was in university. Like back in the early 90s, I forgot about that.
When I was in the nursing home.
Awesome, Dav. Anything else you want to say about
that? Street Fighter 2, man. Just let it be.
Cool.
Do it.
Okay. Awesome, Dav. Wicks, who are you going with?
So. Rewind 5 minutes, copy paste, Minecraft.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
And in fact, that whole discussion about Notch. So I didn't know about it until I did my research earlier today, because he was going to be my creative.
Oh really?
And then I found out, and I was like, oh well, that's not happening.
Oh god.
So Minecraft, and it's better suited because. When you really think about what Minecraft has achieved, yes, it's come from like an independent studio and has blown up to, let's be honest, the biggest game in the 21st century, quite honestly. And it's not just a game; it's also pure escapism. It stimulates creativity. It's an educational tool. It's essentially digital Lego as well, and it lets people develop like team working online. I mean, the projects. I don't play it anymore. I haven't played it since it was like free on beta. I've not played it since then. But I still watch like videos of people who've done incredible things with Minecraft. So. It's barely a game now. It's just a different medium in its own right.
They use it to teach in schools, like in Scandinavia and stuff. It's crazy.
I mean, I don't know if it's just partly the timing of it all as well. I don't know if it's still the case. But when I was working with in the primary school with kids with special educational needs, Minecraft was just a godsend. I mean. The two young lads I had who were, varying places on the autistic spectrum, they could not get enough Minecraft. And just like to have something that pacifies, that focuses, that engages and entertains people who, don't necessarily settle into a normal classroom environment, that is something to behold. That is something special and should be commended.
Yeah. Wow. This is. I mean, and obviously we have Minecraft twice, but like
How does the voting work again?
So when it comes to 2, we still vote as like we normally would. Like obviously Minecraft is going to get more points based on the fact that regardless of where it lands. So we do you just number them from 5, 3, 1, but Minecraft is going to just pick up however many of those points. Unless you're Zach and Dav, because they'll have 3. Me and you will be able to. We'll have to vote Minecraft twice for numbers.
And what did you bring again? Sorry, Johnny.
Ocarina of Time.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Minecraft, Ocarina of Time, Street Fighter 2.
So there will be 2 different games that get in. So at this point, it's just between Ocarina of Time and Street, because I can't see how Minecraft is not going to get in, basically, unless Dav Weeks and Zach start giving it 1s, and I'd be like, what? What's going on? But even then, all right, Dav Weeks, did you want to start? We'll start with you.
Yeah. Top banana in that list is Ocarina of Time. I appreciate Minecraft, but I don't play it, as I said. Ocarina of Time, I played the shit out of that game, man. I love it. It's so good. Ocarina, yeah, top points. Minecraft in the middle, Street Fighter at the bottom, I'm afraid.
I love how you gave your own game second place to Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time! That's basically a trump card.
Johnny, it's top banana.
Top banana.
That's it. Next month I'm bringing Monkey Ball.
I'm bringing Mario Kart.
Awesome.
The right one.
I was waiting. Daft Kip, what do you go with?
Mario Kart. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm giving my 5 points to Ocarina of Time, and I know that means Street Fighter 2 won't get in. But yeah, I've got to give my 5 to Ocarina of Time. I played that for the first time last year. On the 3DS.
I remember you saying.
We talked about it on like the second podcast. Yeah. Played through it all in 1 week and had a blast. There are some parts that do not age well, but it's a game from 1998, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I'm not sure there are any other games in 1998 that I can say that about. Definitely not GoldenEye. That game is trash. But yeah, Ocarina of Time gets my 5, and then Minecraft gets my 3 and my 1. Because I have no choice.
Zach, what are you going with then?
It's Ocarina at the top. Minecraft is second. Street Fighter, I'm really sad to say, guys, it came out kind of. I didn't have it. I never played it. I have no connection with it at all. I think I've played maybe one. If I've played one round in my entire life, I don't remember it. And I do think it has an important stake in the beat 'em up thing. But I don't like beat 'em ups, really. I find them frustrating, and I don't know how to play them. So sadly, it has to go at the bottom. And I think that's possibly why I didn't go in last time, because I think I might have axed it.
Possibly. It's going to get brought back by Dav Weeks next time. Eventually, just keep doing the rounds until it comes back to me.
Yeah.
I gave Minecraft 1 and 3, and I give Street Fighter 2 5, just because. Like Dav says, Dav Gape says, for me, Street Fighter 2 did have quite an impact on my childhood. And it, Minecraft, it's undeniable what that has done, but at the same time, I would argue in many ways Street Fighter's also done that. It just might not be as Street Fighter, it might be as Mortal Kombat, or it might be as Soul Calibur or Tekken. It just because it's not Street Fighter that's given the world the level of content that Minecraft has, or visibility, I guess, it doesn't mean that it's not had an impact on the same level. So I for me, if it comes down to that, then it just means that I love Street Fighter as well. So Street Fighter 2 gets my 5, Minecraft gets 3 and 1, and I've already tallied the numbers. So in last place, sorry, Dev Gape, it is Street Fighter 2 with a commendable 7.
It's not bad for last place.
Not bad for last place. Not bad for last place, considering Minecraft's in there twice. In second place is Minecraft with 14 points.
Whoa.
And in first place with 15 is Ocarina of Time. It had the full. Yeah, that's mad. It's mad.
Wow.
But yeah, that means that Minecraft and Ocarina of Time have got in as the 2 games.
Not bad.
And Satoshi
Not bad
Tajiri
going,
and
is
Sid Meier have got in as the people. Does that mean we've all got something in today?
I got the GUE.
Dav Week's
I've got Sid and Minecraft.
Sid and Minecraft. But Zach also got
Yeah.
Minecraft, and I got Ocarina of Time. That might be a first. That might be a first. I do you know what? I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's a pretty solid. I mean, that's more than solid. Really. That might be the best. Might be the best one we've ever done. It's can be hard to top that. But yeah, that is the end. That is the end of episode 7. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. It's been really lovely. I enjoy these.
I got it.
Sorry, Zach. Your internet is fuddling. Thank you. There's a thank you. Oh no, wait. Thank you for the beard. I think he's saying. I thought you were thanking me. I was like, it's all right, Zach. You know, I just press the buttons. That's all. But if you enjoyed the show, then please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And tell your friends, because that'd be lovely. And you can check out our Patreon page. That's where the rest of the episodes are up on. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 are on YouTube, but there's 3 other ones that are on Patreon. You can go and watch for £1. £1 and watch 3 episodes like this. It's been a lot of fun. But if you don't want to or can't, tough times, COVID, we understand. Then we just appreciate you coming to watch us. This has been lovely. I've really enjoyed this. We're gonna have to do it more often.
Yeah.
I think that's it. What we're going to do, we're going to say goodbye now to anyone watching on YouTube, and then we'll hang around for a little bit so that Dav can get his stream ready. So if you are watching this on YouTube, then thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Patty, bye.